What's up, guys? My name's Arianna.
And I'm Maple.
And today we are watching Adolescence. We are on episode 3.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon. We do full-length watch-alongs on there, but you can also get early access to the edited versions of our videos before they make it up here on the channel.
7 months. Oh, wow. We're doing a time jump.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, my gosh. I'm just like
The single shot
obsessed.
is wild.
Obsessed.
I heard he was involved in a violent incident.
How'd you hear that?
It was reported up. That would be useful to see.
Relevant?
I'd like to see it.
Okay. I'll fire up the megaport. Yeah, it's just bruising and scratching.
I read the report.
Both blame the other?
No, I know, I read the report.
You're on 5 visits.
Yes.
And you know what you're going to say in the report?
I wouldn't be here if I knew that.
Well, the
Also,
other
I
one.
don't think...
The other one of you, we only needed 3. So.
Please, you can't say any more. It's
Yeah, I was about
important.
to
I don't know anything about what the other psychologist says, does, or thinks.
Literally, exactly. Like, why are you even involved in this right now? I feel like that's so outside the scope of what you're
making the
doing.
right assessment, not
Yeah,
the
also that's
fastest.
not your job.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
I'm just being an idiot.
No, no, that's just the way I work. I need to get a hot chocolate from the machine.
Remember?
Oh, this is going to be such a good episode. We're going to get, hopefully, answers.
Or at least maybe a look into the... Because the biggest question that people have been at, why?
What are they?
He likes his hot chocolate with marshmallows on.
We must be in business. Never done them before. I was Mark, I think. Radiator burns all over him. Poor kid. I don't know what he did.
They do so much with the audio to create this... So the things that raise your cortisol. Like,
Yeah, exactly. To really put you in it.
You need us, we're here.
Yes.
Same goes for you, Jenny.
Yeah.
We'll be watching, okay?
Hot chocolate.
Sprinkles.
Lots of them.
You remembered. Thank you.
And I saved you half my sandwich in case you were hungry. Cheese and pickle.
No tomatoes.
Tomatoes don't go very well with pickle.
No salad.
Would I do that to you? There's no tomatoes, there's no salad, there's just cheese and pickle. Do you want it? I'll save it for later.
No. I'll have it. I don't know about pickle though, but I'll have it.
You're looking better than last
7
time.
months.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, you just got some of your colour back.
You sound like a granny.
Do I?
Oh, you got your colour back. You can't have been that ill.
It's a good voice.
No.
Do you see your grandparents much?
Well, not recently, no.
No, I meant before all this.
A bit. My dad's side. My dad's mum and dad's mum didn't get on reverse.
Yeah, we spoke about that. So what are your dad's parents like?
I don't know. Like him.
Well, what does that mean?
They like things they like them. Like, no gravy. Such a shame. I like a slice of my dinner if you've got one in Amanda.
Slice of what?
Bread. You're posh, aren't you?
No, I'm just not from where you're
Well,
from.
what do you call bread? If you don't call it a slice.
Bread?
You're posh.
If it makes you happy that I am, Jamie, then
What
I
do you
am.
call your granddad? Bet you call him Grandpa.
I do not.
Bet you do.
I call him Pop Pop.
What? Do you?
Yes, I do.
Wow. Jesus.
I don't
I've not heard that one
I had a
before.
pop.
Okay. You're not going to try the sandwich?
I'll have it later. It's just the pickle. Hate it.
You hate it? God, I really messed up then.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So can we talk a bit about you? You see a lot of your dad and your
I have
granddad,
so much
do you?
anxiety.
What's your dad and his dad like?
Men.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, would masculine be an okay word to use? When I hear the word masculine, I think they can mend things. They like to make things. They like sports. They like going to the pub.
Yeah. Not the pub, but yeah.
Your dad doesn't go to the pub.
No, not really. Not as much as my pop.
You're not going to let me forget that, are you?
No.
So your granddad's more of a pub man, is he?
He's not around that much anymore.
How much?
Every other Sunday, maybe. Sometimes in the week when they're both, mum and dad are both working, but that's more granny. A bit more in the holidays. We went to Tenerife in the months.
On holiday?
No, banana picking.
Yo,
He is
Have you
wild.
seen us on
No.
holiday?
I'm getting like
don't
just
think I've ever
flashbacks
heard
when I was at
anyone
Casa.
use-
And that's literally just how adolescent boys talk.
I suppose the other thing I think about when I hear the word masculine would be the way that masculine...
This all started because I said you sounded like a granny.
What?
The first time you came, you had actual questions. Is this right, Jamie? Do you know whether this is wrong, Jamie? Now you're just chatting shit.
I I hope I'm not.
Well, you are, because the first time if an adult guinea pig eats one of its kids, is that normal or weird? Now you're, what do you call bread?
Come on.
It just feels like a trick.
Trick?
Yeah.
Trick into what?
My dad's okay. All right?
Okay, I know.
Just talking about him. There isn't a need.
Fine. If that's how you feel, but I'm not trying to trick you.
Now I've pissed you off.
No.
Can I see your notes? What you've got written down about me?
Do you see me writing anything
You
down?
must write stuff down.
Yes.
Can I see what you wrote?
Oh my gosh.
What you've written?
I feel like I'm
course you
flashing
can't.
back with my Casa
Well,
kiddos.
Dylan and the other lawyers said you work for us.
That's not what they say, Jamie, and I know that because I asked them the last time you said that to me. I've explained this. I've been employed by your team, but I don't work for
What
you.
do you tell them?
I'm writing an independent, that's a very
What
important
did he
word,
say to
okay?
you?
An independent pre-sentence offence report, which the judge will read in order to get an understanding of you and your understanding of the charges. All I want to do is talk to you, Jamie, and have you talk to me. Yes, I've asked some straightforward questions, but I think... Am I boring you?
No.
Okay. I think you, and everyone else for that matter, are far more complex than straightforward questions allow for. We had a good conversation last time. Could we try that again?
What did we talk about last time?
We spoke about your friends, your sister, your mum. We went all over the
Can't remember
place.
saying anything about them.
Ah, well, you did. And how you feel about them. How well Lisa's doing, what you think your mum thinks
What,
of
now
you.
you want to talk about my dad?
Well, I want to talk about lots of things. I could tell you the questions that I wrote down to talk to you about today, if that helps. Well, I wanted to talk about the fight you had.
I thought that was nothing.
I was interested why you got in a fight.
He hit me first.
Why?
Because we've had beef over stuff. It doesn't matter, it wasn't a proper fight.
You're telling me it's not that interesting?
It's not.
Okay, let's move on.
Well, I'm in charge now, am I?
Maybe. I also wrote down that I wanted to talk to you about what being a man feels like.
You want a cock and balls, do you?
I'm interested in what being a man feels like for you.
I don't know.
It's too big a question, right? And the fight's too small a question. Which is why it's more useful for me to see where the conversation goes and steer it a bit into what you think of your dad and your granddad, for instance, rather than saying, so, Jamie, what do you think being a man feels like?
Oh, she's good.
So, Jamie, what do you think being a man feels like?
It's not a trick. It's just a conversation. So do you think it would be okay if we speak about your dad a bit?
Can I just see your notes? What you wrote, how you wrote it?
Nope. You're not that in charge. Does your dad like his job?
He fixes toilets. What do you think? He works hard, long hours. You get the best money for emergency plumbing out of hours, you know.
Is he
Yeah.
funny?
Sometimes.
Loving?
No, that's weird.
Angry?
I suppose.
How angry does he get?
He's never hit me.
Okay, go on.
Is that what this is all about?
Well, why do you call him angry?
He just gets mad. We all do.
Okay, that's okay. He's just angry in a normal way.
He's pulled a shed down once when he was in a proper rage, but that's as
shed?
bad as it gets.
Were you frightened?
No, I thought it was quite funny at the time. Lisa did too, then Mum sent us upstairs. He's not like that most of the time.
What does he do when he's not working?
It just feels like you're testing him.
No, I'm just interested in your view of him. He's a big presence in your life. He was your appropriate adult.
Yeah, because he doesn't judge. He's a kind person.
So what does he do when he's not working?
He basically likes all sport. My mum always said if you watch lawn bowls, he'd make it fun.
Would you watch lawn bowls with him?
No, it's not for me.
You're not into sport?
No.
None of it?
I'm not good at much, but I'm really good at getting out of PE.
How'd you do that then?
I love Jim.
I did. Hurt my leg. Oh, so I feel dizzy, can I sit down? That sort of thing.
What does your dad make of that?
He doesn't know. He knew I wasn't sporty or anything like that. He used to take me to football. This football thing on Saturdays. He'd cheer me on and everything, but when I'd up, he'd just...
No, because he's needing a different type of attention that he's not getting. So he's making decisions because he knows that they're not fully paying attention to him. They don't know who he is, you know? Whether he realizes he's...
Pretend he didn't see.
Maybe, or maybe he just didn't want me to see him looking sorry.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Whoa.
Ashamed.
The lighting.
How did you
Started
feel
raining
when you
outside.
saw that? Shame.
He's supposed to say he wasn't.
Am I?
Yeah. He's supposed to say, oh, but he wasn't ashamed. Bet you just thought that, Jamie.
Have other people said that to you?
It's just the right thing to say.
Isn't it lying?
No. I don't know, I don't like lying.
I wasn't into school sports either.
You were good at other stuff though, weren't you?
Why do you think that?
You look like you were and you're clever, so...
Well, did you not think you were very good at anything else?
No, I didn't care, I wasn't.
It must be hard to feel that way.
No, I think most people think like that.
Most people think they're bad at everything.
But most people are.
Does your sister feel like that?
No. Lisa's clever.
Your dad?
I don't know. My mum does, though.
Your mum thinks she's bad at everything.
She can cook or roast, but... I mean, you'd have to ask her. Have you met them yet?
Your family?
Yeah.
I've spoken to your dad on the phone.
Yeah?
Yes, he's passed my assessment.
How is he?
He's okay. It's sad you're here. I can't say more than that.
Well, it's wrong that I'm in here. Can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
Can you get me out of this place?
I'm afraid I'm of no use to you there.
Why couldn't they put me in a proper prison?
A better facility wasn't available.
Putting me in a madhouse?
It's a secure training centre.
Training?
Okay, that makes sense.
What are they training us for?
That's what I
The
figured
other
it
boys just
was.
scream all the time. It's mad in here, you don't understand.
This was the best place for you to be.
Ryan used to stay at home until his trial.
Ryan isn't accused of such a serious crime.
Accused.
This is probably why
It's
he
all
fought
accused.
the other.
If I did it, if I hurt her, then I get it, but I didn't, so...
Understand it, Jamie, and this wasn't my decision. This
I'm
was the
getting you
best
for the
place for you
trial.
to be. Nothing has been decided yet.
Do you know where it's going to be? London or somewhere local?
Down. You need to sit down, Jamie.
Does that mean you don't know what you just won't tell me?
Nothing's been decided yet. You need to sit down.
I don't want to sit down.
If you don't sit down, I have to stop this discussion.
Maybe I want you to.
Do you?
It'd piss you off, that, wouldn't it? You'd have to go home and then come back again.
Jamie, if you do not sit...
Look out! You want to sit down! You do not tell me when to sit down! You do not control what I... Look at me now! You do not control what I do in my life! Get that in that f***ing little head of yours!
Ooh.
You know?
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I mean, she's getting a lot of
There isn't a
information.
Jamie,
I shouted. I'm sorry.
do you want him to take it out for a bit?
I'll get a cup of tea, though, if that's okay.
Can I have another hot chocolate, please?
Oh,
Sure.
Well, you don't have to.
Sure.
she's better than me because I've had kiddos do that, and I'm like, well,
That was your one hot chocolate. He's saying that his dad doesn't, but where are these bouts of rage coming from then? You know, like where is he?
oh, I feel like we're gonna get like some more into this.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Also,
I'm so excited.
insane monologue.
Insane.
Like that's basically a run of a monologue between the two of them,
That's
but
so
mostly
good.
him, and like that is insane.
He's such a good
Causing
actor.
trouble.
It's
No, for
insane.
real.
Oh, why are you so involved? Like you're not even technically staff.
Look in
You're
the room.
There's no audio.
That's fine. Can I look?
Of course.
because the guy's in the gray shirt. Because so I've worked on like youth centers before. So basically, like you're on staff,
security, yeah.
but then you do a lot of times. So you do have somebody who's like just straight up security. He looks like he's just straight up security, and he's just very involved. And it's
Which like
rubbing me
most of the
wrong
time is
way.
usually like contracted.
Yeah, and honestly, they like they can't do anything. They just are there to just
To
like
monitor.
surveil and like let people know. Like,
Is he gonna look? Hold on. I want.
see, like you should not be.
What is it you're looking for? Is it
Well, he's probably
body language
intrigued
stuff?
because it's such
Yeah.
a big case. Like that probably
Just
doesn't
reading
happen a
book on
lot.
it, man.
Yeah.
My sister gave it to me.
Shut up.
Okay, so he's supposed to make you feel uneasy.
People hide. You know, I don't need to tell you this, but they hide so much. Maybe they tell the truth with their bodies. Faces.
Yes, maybe.
I can do what you do.
I'm sure I couldn't do what you do.
Do you want a job swap? It's your hours. It's your holiday allowances.
I like my job most of the time.
I hate mine.
Like he's just in there
You're
stretching.
probably
Like
best off.
Oh man.
That's all I needed.
I'm like watching this, like, do I need to go pick up
Please do
another
help.
Casa
Thank
case?
you.
I'm like,
Thanks.
oh man. Oh, that guy, I know this is all intentional. Obviously, the show's so smart, but he is really putting that feel of unease in there.
he's unsettling.
Yeah.
Would you be more comfortable with me staying inside?
No, I wouldn't like that at all. Right, Jamie. I'm not a police officer. I'm not here to elicit a confession. I'm just here to understand. I know you think I'm trying to trick you.
I said that ages ago.
I am just here to get an understanding of your understanding.
And I understand that you need to have an understanding of my understanding. Ask your questions. Oh, we better know.
Well, I suppose the other thing I think of in relation to the word masculinity would be how masculine men feel about women.
We're back on that, are we?
Yes, is that okay?
You need to have an understanding of my understanding of women.
I forgot your hot chocolate.
No, it's fine.
I'll get it.
No, just sit down, please. It's fine. I don't deserve it. I shouted. Ask you questions about men, women, whatever.
Well, you must have views on men and women. How does your dad treat your mum?
Are you trying to get at my dad again?
No, not get at him.
Dad's actually nice to Mum.
You did say he tore down a shed.
Yeah, he just gets angry with himself, but he's never hit her.
Does he speak to other women?
What?
Is he friendly with other women?
What? No. He loves my mum.
No, I'm asking whether any of his friends are women.
No. His mates are his mates.
And they're men.
Is that wrong? What does that mean?
No, that's not wrong.
I thought we'd done talking about my dad.
Jamie, I'm just trying to
Understand. I know, but none of this has nothing to do with him.
Do you have any mates who are women?
No.
Like your dad, your mates are male?
Yeah, the other shrink asks more normal questions, you know that?
Okay.
You want to know what he
I
asks?
can't, no.
I'm just saying.
I can't know, Jamie. My conclusions have to be independent.
Okay, I won't say anything.
What do you think about women?
I like them.
But you're not, like you say, particularly friends with them.
I'm not a twat, though.
Are you attracted to women?
Yeah, I'm not gay.
We've established you don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
But I don't think I asked before, would you like a girlfriend?
Yeah, who doesn't?
If you had a girlfriend, what would you do with her?
What does that mean?
Well, would you take her out? If you did, where would you take her?
The cinema.
To see what kind of film?
A horror.
15 certificate.
Yeah, they're pretty slack, you can get in.
And after the cinema, would you take her for a walk, take her straight home?
No.
Would you want to kiss her?
Are you allowed to ask these questions?
Well, you don't discuss this in PSHE. What do you think is the normal amount someone your age would do sexually with a girl or boy?
I told you I'm not gay.
I wasn't suggesting that you were.
No. Touching, kissing.
Well, what do you mean by touching?
touching her bits.
Her chest?
Yeah.
Her backside?
Yeah.
Her vagina?
I don't know, maybe.
Probably not.
Maybe. Are you sure you're allowed to ask these questions?
So, you think it's normal for a 13-year-old heterosexual boy to have engaged in touching of a girl's chest and her backside? Above or below clothes?
Below. Maybe above. Mostly. I've actually done all that. Kissing and touching. I've had 2 girls show me the tits, chest.
It's okay, you don't have to use my language.
Who?
And one of them
What the
touched my knob, and I think she liked it.
And you liked it?
Of course. Not really.
You didn't like it?
It just seems weird.
I don't know.
Concerning.
There's no right or wrong answer in this room, Jamie.
I feel like 13 was the
You
time,
do
like
know that. It's just your
No, but
best
how old
attempt
are
at the
these
truth.
girls that are doing this? Like, what is happening?
probably 13.
I don't know. I'm just freaked out.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Thank
weren't
God.
touched on your trousers.
No.
Okay, so he's just making it up.
And did 2 girls go topless with you?
No. But
Okay, I was like, that's what I was saying. I was like,
I've
unless
seen
you're like
photos, though.
You seen
in a
porn
weird
photos?
situation, like that doesn't make.
No. Just these 2 girls in my ear that I knew. No.
You saw photos of 2 girls in your year topless.
Yeah.
Would they be happy you saw those photos?
Everyone else did.
Was Katie one of those 2 girls?
How do you know that?
How did it feel to see that?
How'd you guess that?
I didn't guess it. I asked it, and now I'd like to know what it felt like to see her like that.
What, you're asking whether I got a hard on?
I'm asking how it felt.
Are we allowed to talk like this?
How does it make you feel looking at naked pictures of people?
How do you think?
In particular, how does it make you feel looking at naked pictures of people you know?
I don't know, good.
Powerful? Do you feel like it gives you a power?
No. It's just weird.
Were you attracted to Katie?
She wasn't my type.
So you weren't?
She was quite, no offence, quite flat, you know. Well, everyone else said it. Who saw it? That's not just me. The picture got passed around the school. Snapchat, you know. It was just her. Top half. She sent it to Fidget and then he sent it on.
Why did she send it to Fidget?
Fidget.
You know, she fancied him.
So she was trying to attract him?
I think he asked her. He's not going to get any more pictures, though, is he?
No, she's dead.
No, I didn't mean from her. I meant from other girls. No one will send him any of her pictures because he wasn't careful with the one he got.
So you think he should have collected more pictures from more girls before he shared them with other boys?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, why do you say she's dead like that?
Because she is. Jamie, I asked whether you were attracted to women. Do you think women are attracted to you?
What sort of question is that?
Or what do you think? Do you think girls are attracted to you?
No. Of course not.
Why, of course not.
Because I'm ugly.
How does that make you feel?
Aren't you supposed to say I'm not ugly?
What I think isn't important.
Yeah, you don't say the things normal people say, do you?
Well, how would you feel if I did say you're not ugly?
I just don't know why you don't say the things normal people say.
You thought I should have contradicted you when you said your dad was ashamed of you, and you think I should contradict you now when you tell me you think yourself ugly. I'm interested in the fact that you think you're ugly, Jamie.
I'm fascinated.
I'm interested in it because what you think is more important to me than what is true, okay?
Yup.
So how do you feel about being ugly?
Oh,
How
that
would you
rain in the
feel?
background.
You don't know. You're pretty.
This isn't about me, Jamie.
What? You don't think you're pretty?
I'm not the interesting person in this room.
You don't think you're pretty? You do think I'm ugly?
I haven't passed judgment on either of those things. If you think about it for very good reason.
Oh, for very good reason.
I want to understand you.
To understand my understanding of my understanding of my understanding.
Yes.
The other bloke is much more easy.
Okay.
Him checking whether I understand was much easier.
They need
whether I
to
understand what I did. No, I didn't say that. You f***ing putting words in my mouth. It's like a trap in here.
Hey, Jamie!
It's interesting, and I wonder. It's weird, like having a male psychiatrist come in first.
That
You know what I mean? They have a man standing at the door, and now her.
queen, yeah.
Yeah, see, like it's interesting. That's like,
It's trying to intimidate her.
yeah, he's trying to stand over her.
I need you to sit down. Are you going to sit down? Are you done?
Fine.
It's very interesting.
I will
Oh.
sit down.
I will say that.
I'm like having muscle memory
Right.
right now. It's crazy. Ugh.
Oh, are you going now?
No,
Are you going?
that's what you
Would
expect
you like me
her
to?
to do. Yeah.
It's not to me, is it?
If you want me to go, Jamie, I can go. You said in one of our previous sessions that you had friends, Tommy and Ryan, but that you wouldn't consider yourself popular. You said you were bullied. The three of you were bullied.
People like you just love talking about bullying, don't
You
you?
said Tommy was called Round Pounds because his mum did her shopping at Poundland.
Yeah, but she doesn't.
And Ryan was called dumb.
Ryan is dumb. That one was sort of true.
You said the three of you felt ostracised quite a
Big
lot.
words coming out now.
You said sometimes this would get physical. People would spit on you from classroom windows. You'd be tripped up and pushed.
Yeah.
You were called names and you were physically
You know
abused.
what? I was just tripped up and spat on.
My question, Jamie, is why do you have an Instagram account?
I need one
Why?
to look at other people's accounts. You can't if you haven't got one.
Right. And you follow lots of women. You don't need to put photos up, though. Why do you put photos up of yourself, I mean?
I don't know. Am I not allowed?
Is it to prove those bullies wrong by showing the fun you have with Tommy and Ryan?
No.
To show the fun you have with your family?
There's no way I'm putting anything up of them. Seen anything like that, it's because my sister tagged me.
Because you think someone might like one of your photos. You might get into a conversation, make a new friend, meet a girl.
No. What are you on about?
Katie commented on your photos on a number of different occasions.
What are you doing? What's this? A job?
She wrote this.
No. Are you allowed to ask these questions? Has Dylan passed these questions fit?
Yes, he has. I'm allowed to ask about intimacies, Jamie. But if this makes you uncomfortable or you have any questions, there are people in this facility that can help you, okay? Katie wrote this on your Facebook feed.
Facebook?
Instagram.
Are you all right? You look a bit red. Did I scare you when I shouted?
She wrote this on your
I mean, I'm
Instagram.
only 13. I don't think I look that scary.
Could you tell me what these emojis
Oh,
are?
how embarrassing is that? Getting scared of a 13-year-old. Wow.
What do these emojis mean, Jamie?
She's pretending like I'm part of one of those truth groups.
What truth groups?
What?
Ones that say that women don't want us, we don't care.
Are you part of those?
No.
But you know what they say.
Yeah, because everyone kept on going on about it, incel stuff, so I had a look, but I didn't like it.
And was you being an incel what she was saying with all of these?
Yeah.
Could you explain them all?
Want love, won't get it. A red pill exploding, that's the same as the red pill. And then that's an 80-20 thing.
What's an 80-20 thing?
80% of women are attracted to 20% of men. I do think they're right about that, though.
So he does buy into that.
And lots of people liked her comments quite a lot.
Seems like it
Yeah,
with
they
the ugly comment
thought it
saying
was
that he
funny.
thinks he's ugly.
You must have found that quite cruel.
I suppose.
Did she do this to anyone else?
No,
Why did she do it to you?
because I'm ugly.
You think that's why she did it to you?
Well, I'm the ugliest, I suppose, so
Did you ever call her on it?
yeah.
What did you say?
I'm not what you say I am, or
And what did she say?
she just smiled and said, okay, and walked away.
And you never thought to tell anyone what she was doing?
It's a bit like that now, isn't it?
That just must have hurt.
I didn't kill her. You think it is because you've seen the video. You can't trust videos anymore. It's all fake news.
I'm not here to judge.
I didn't kill her. She was a bitch. Even you can see that. I should have killed her, but I didn't. I just...
Telling
All
on
I
ourselves real
did-
quick.
Look
There
at
it
you,
goes again. There's the
all
mask.
hopeful, like I'm going to say something important.
He's so good. He's such a good actor.
No,
It's
for
insane.
sure. Like, he is
All I did-
wild.
I did ask her out after the photo. I went round and said I was sorry that they'd done that to her, showing everyone her tits, her chest, and I wanted to know if she'd come to the fair with me. I just thought she might be weak, all that.
He's so complex, dude. There's so much going on.
Everyone was calling her slag, you know, or flat or whatever, so I thought when she was like that weak,
Okay,
might-
that's what she means
she might
by
like me.
weak. Okay. Oh, that's almost
clever,
worse.
don't-
To ask her out when everyone else didn't like her.
Sounds like
I
manipulation,
went round and
babes.
said I was sorry and everything. That fidget was a wanker.
Yeah,
And I
that
said
was
I took her to the fair she
terrible.
liked.
Her weakness made her more gettable, was your theory.
Yeah.
I thought you said you didn't like her.
She's flat, that's fact, but I didn't mind that. That's okay. I don't even know why I'm telling you all this, but I just said, you want to come up the fair?
And what did she say?
She just laughed and said, oh, I'm not that desperate.
And the emoji messages came after that. She was, let's say, attacking you for presuming you could ask her out.
It's your words.
You think they're unfair?
You think she's a bitch, right?
Oh my god, it's
Do
crazy.
we know that? She was a bullying bitch, right? That's the thing, you see. That night, I didn't touch her. I could have touched her, but I didn't. I had a knife. She was scared, but I didn't do that. I could have touched any part of her body I wanted to. I really wanted to, but I didn't.
Stabbed her to death.
Most boys would have touched her. So that makes me better,
Oh my god.
don't you think?
No, I don't think, babes. Oh, now we try the sandwich after that.
I didn't mean any of that. I'm just tired. I'm talking too much. I'm tired. I'm so tired. I didn't kill her.
Jamie, do you understand what death is?
What?
Do you understand what death is?
Yeah.
Do you understand that Katie's gone and she can't come back?
I didn't do it.
That whatever claims you make as to her character,
I didn't mean she
whatever
was a bitch.
claims you make about her, she's gone. That whoever did kill her, they extinguished the possibility of her future life.
I didn't mean to be mean about her. She just did.
Jamie,
She just didn't like me.
Listen, do you understand?
Yeah. I'm not dumb.
Do you understand that murder is a crime?
Yeah.
Do you understand that if you're found guilty of that crime, you'll be held in detention?
Who doesn't know
Do you
that?
understand who will make the decision about that?
Judge, jury.
Okay. Jamie, this is our last session.
What?
But what I would encourage you to
Why?
do, whatever happens next, is take advantage of any mental health services that are offered to you.
Why?
I think you'll benefit from
No,
talking.
no.
Yeah.
Well, that's just what I think.
And then you come back. You see me.
Unfortunately, I'm needed elsewhere.
It's just like being done as it.
I hope
All of
take
it.
what I said seriously. Thanks for your time. I'll ask Frank to come back in now.
Thanks for my time.
And honesty, I'm grateful that
You think I'm being honest? Are you going to tell the judge all that?
I think you've spoken to me with honesty, yes, but all I'm advising the judge on is your
My
understanding.
understanding, yes.
So competency was probably raised. Okay.
It doesn't seem like a proper goodbye.
It is.
It doesn't seem like one.
Yeah, that's enough. Come on.
No, we haven't finished.
We have, thank you.
No. Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Do you like me?
Oh, poor kiddo.
I was here as a professional, Jamie.
Don't you think like that then?
My job was to assess
Because I like you.
as a professional.
Not like that, not fancying you. Don't you even like me a bit? What did you think about me then?
Oh, his need for
Decide, come
validation
on.
is super high.
Telling you what I did.
Hey, come
Don't
on,
you
come on.
dare.
Whoa, come on.
Don't you even like me a bit?
Jamie, come on, man, please.
What did you think about me then?
Okay.
Tell him I got him all right. Tell him I got him okay.
Oh my.
It's just hard because everything he's doing like means something to her assessment. I mean, it's
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking because he has a lot of self-hatred, a lot of internalized
because
negative concepts about himself.
Well, and like his dad, even like what he's saying about his dad, there was never a space created for him to like address what now is like shame. Like just,
Well, that's-
like there was never a positive space for him to create.
we don't know that though. See, that's the thing though. But it sounds like he's internalized everything though.
Right,
in
exactly.
A
But
negative
no, and that's what I'm saying.
lens.
Because if you mess up playing your sport and then all of a sudden, like, oh, like your dad, we're not looking, we're not going to address that.
Yeah.
In a even in a negative or positive way, you're just completely ignoring it. You know,
Yeah.
like to be completely ignored, and so then you're constantly looking for validation. But then he's also being reinforced that he can kind of do whatever he wants. You know, and lie. Like he can lie, and like what consequences he really.
See, I don't know. I don't think we have enough to say that just because we haven't heard enough. But
I don't know, but
she's so good.
That was insane.
It's insane.
The whole thing's insane.
It's just I would be. Oh, see, this just sucks that we only have one more episode because I don't think enough the questions are going to get answered in enough.
But I
in
think,
that.
but I think that's how true crime works too.
Well,
it's like do you ever get? It's
you
like
know,
what the
it's
guy's partner was
traumatized.
saying. Like you don't really ever get the why. Sometimes,
Yeah,
Like,
sometimes you don't get the why.
you don't get the why. Like,
Yeah, adolescent boys are so tricky and they're so complicated because of basically how she started the conversation with like, what does masculinity mean to you? And like, if you just go a little bit deeper than what they're ready for, that's literally how they react. It's like
Well,
almost
it's like every time he almost
immediately.
let himself
Mhm.
get to the point of saying something
That was
he-
like genuine or vulnerable.
yeah. His defense
Oh.
was to be defensive. No, he's extremely defensive.
Yeah.
And like but that's I don't know. I'm just thinking about like but that's the thing. It's like he doesn't understand like he doesn't see. That's why I was saying what I was saying earlier, like with his dad and like he's bringing up the soccer and like playing soccer and stuff. It's like you're not giving him a chance to.
When you say
It's-
him, are you talking about the child or the dad?
The child is
Okay.
not getting a chance to, because if you're playing a game, you know, like when you're younger, like he obviously they've established that he understands that he knows what's right and he knows what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And he's clearly said like, you know, like, oh, we'll sneak into the movies. Well, because I can't, they don't really check. So like, because I can, you know, like he has an understanding of like what boundaries he's willing to push versus not. Like even in little situations, sure, sneaking in the movies, does that hurt anybody? Maybe not really. Are you supposed to do that? No, like that's not the rules that are in place. But like, why do you bend the rules like that? And it's like, because when he does something wrong, his dad looks away. So you have to imagine that each time he's probably to multiple levels of that. It's like, if that's what's pushing his dad to shut down, then he's never getting an opportunity to express those feelings because he knows it's wrong. You know, like if you're younger, I feel like kids tend to feel one emotion at a time, you know? And if he's that little and he's playing soccer, like, you know, what's good. And if everybody's cheering when you make the goal, then yay, awesome. But if you're kind of getting to the point of being a little bit more competitive and then you fuck up or do something that's not right, or say you got carded because you're being crazy, I don't know, you know, then it's like, even though, yeah, you're not getting like a negative reaction from your dad for fucking up, kind of like how we saw in Ted Lasso with Jamie's dad. Like he's not like becoming brutally violent because you fucked up, like you're letting me down. God, I'm ashamed of you. You're embarrassing me. No, it's like, to completely ignore it doesn't even create a space for him. Like it's still creating a void of a space for him to be able to like express the natural feeling of shame or embarrassment or like, man, I fucked up. What do I do with those feelings? So it's like seems like his family never created a space to allow those feelings to manifest, recognize them, and then move forward from them and do something with them in a positive way. So instead, he feels probably disconnected in some way from his family. And then, as he's made mistakes, or now he knows he can kind of get away with things, because I'm sure it's translated into him being able to do little things here and there, or hang out with the friends that he has. And he obviously feels misunderstood to some degree by everyone around him. And then he has this image of himself, which that's a whole other thing that, like, I don't really know where the rest of that's coming from. But I think like
that all kind of ties in, though,
like a building block of that, I really think is like, not that his dad's not a bad dad, and that's kind of what he's saying. Like, I think he understands that, but I don't think he understands that, like, he's obviously didn't get a space for those feelings.
Or even that he's not understanding that his reaction to her not immediately saying, oh, your dad wasn't ashamed, like he's used to getting. So it is like you're saying, like he's taking those emotions and just pushing it aside. And when the adults are like, oh, your dad's like, they like to make him feel better. And he's then seeing that as a lie or a thing. And then when she
it's like they're lying to him. And like, then because
react that way.
Yeah. And the problem is because his dad isn't addressing, like, because he's recognizing, it's like that thing that test that they do with the babies with the deadpan moms, and like how that can like fuck up your kid.
Oh yeah, when you're not
expressing to your baby, it's kind of like that. Like it's like he's
you don't learn how to emote in any way, which
so
then is internalized and it comes out in rage.
And so then when other people are telling him, oh, like no, he's not ashamed, because at some point in time he would have had to have like tried. He as a little one would have had to have tried to address that, and then him being like, well, what's that feeling? So he's trying to figure out a feeling that he doesn't understand of somebody else. So now he's trying to monitor his dad's feeling and assess what he did in that environment to create that emotion. And then he has a bunch of people telling him, no, like your dad's not ashamed. He's not ashamed of you.
And then it feels disingenuous. And
so
then
now we've labeled it. Yeah.
So then it's like, now it's
but then his dad never addresses it.
Yeah. Because why, you know what I mean? Because
if he's already ignoring it, then...
And who knows if the dad thinks me addressing it, because it also could be one of those things like, oh, he messed up. He probably doesn't want me, like, it would be more embarrassing.
He doesn't want to embarrass him.
Because he's not saying anything. But then, so then we have the concept of him being unattractive. Well, no one's ever told me I am attractive, so therefore I must be ugly. You know what I mean? So it's all this ton of internalized emotions while still... Well, consistently needing the validation that goes with it, and we're in a space where, and again at 13, kind of like we talked about last episode, it's mob mentality. All you want is validation at that age.
Well, and if the girls are like going hard on the fucking opposite end of this red pill content, right? So then you have this just like culture that's festering online, and it's like he's not even aware, like it Chad brought up how like before Finding Nemo was released, they were for 2 years releasing fish fact blurbs on Disney Channel, and it's like, so then that way by the time Finding Nemo's released, you think your kid thinks they're interested in fish. So it's like, okay, so you release a bunch of information on the internet about fucking red pill, incel this, incel that, no one likes you, most women will never be attracted to you,
you label yourself as ugly, so you're not in the 20%.
You're never going to be in the 20%, and then you have a bunch of kids, because kids are bullying, and they're going to bully off of what I guess is available to them online now, I suppose. And like, so it's like because every time you say something, it's really, I always find myself like, okay, who told you that?
Yeah.
But who told you that? Like, who said that to you?
But it's
and why do you think that?
And that's the craziest thing about being an adolescent, though, because
but he doesn't know that. Like, he's,
it's also one of those things too. It's because we like how cognitive distortions and all these things come up as we age. It's from a core belief, right? So so when the dad's looking away, when he does something embarrassed, he's automatically assuming that his dad's ashamed of him. So anytime his dad looks the other way, he's ashamed. You know what I mean? So it's like you start to fulfill these things. So when it's like, who said that to you at 13? That's the worst part, is like nobody could be saying that to them, but because it's all internalized, he thinks any situation could go that way.
And that's why in the last one I was saying, it's like, now you think a situation is happening that's not even actually happening.
Yeah, exactly.
To you.
It's literally the
Or
epitome
it's
of a cognitive
completely
distortion. Yeah.
manufactured around just almost like subliminal messaging
Mm-hmm.
that was like a message that was given to this. It's like a game of
And again,
telephone with like
it's-
really
oh
shitty
God,
ideas.
and it's so bad because it in the level when you put it that way too, because we already have our own cognitive distortions. Every single person out there
Absolutely.
has a cognitive distortion. It's the way you perceive reality. You know
well,
what I mean?
it's what keeps you feeling like you're. I mean, it's part of your vitality, right? Like you need. It's the easiest way to label it would be ego, right? Like
Yeah.
that the cognitive distortion is kind of coming from your ego. Your ego is like your thought mind. It's going to keep you thinking because it needs to keep you safe.
To a certain degree, yes. Yes.
Like
yes.
emotionally safe.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it's what's that the thoughts are
that
but you know what I mean? Like I think like
know,
just
I know
dumb
exactly where
it
you're
down,
going.
like
I
way
know
back.
I know exactly where you're saying, but I'm also trying to because that has another wording, and it's literally like an actual like theory. It has a different
Yeah,
word.
I
and
wondered.
can't
That's
think
why
of
I'm
it
like, I
right
don't know
now,
what you'd
but I'm
call
like-
that, but
I'm like, I don't want to say it's that because the cognitive distortions, it's like, so your core, so it's more in relation to a core belief. So you have this core belief about the world, you know what I mean? Like you had this interaction with this person.
no, but that's what I was getting
Yeah.
to. So then it's those
Yeah, and
those
then-
thoughts are based off of previous
Yes.
experiences.
Yes, so that's what a core belief is.
Yes, exactly.
But when a cognitive distortion comes
Oh my
in,
God.
no,
exactly.
no, we're just
No, we're
like,
so
we're so excited to talk about psychology.
I know all the books in my house.
I'm
just
getting
like-
so jazzed. I'm like, I was like, I honestly know what you just said. I know the exact verbatim term, and it's in a yellow folder that's downstairs on a chair right now.
That's so funny.
But when you bring in those cognitive distortions, though, because that core belief. Okay, so I failed a test. My teacher said I was dumb.
Yes.
So now you
Every
relate
time-
every time you take a test, it's probably you have its cognitive distortion. If I do bad on this test, I'm dumb.
Yes.
And then you take another test.
And then
And then you have
but
anxiety, and then it just perpetuates and perpetuates. Now,
right, and every time you do happen to fail a test,
then it's forcing. So
it's reinforcing
the cognitive distortion. Exactly. So then we add that layer of the subliminal messaging. So it's not only that like no one's ever going to love me because of this core belief of one interaction with a person. You have an entire internet
Yes.
reinforcing
like a
and then-
whole
I know.
biome
Yeah.
of ideologies.
Coming in and reinforcing this one cognitive distortion that could be, and again, it's not even rooted in reality.
And what happened?
Twice, but twice.
What's
That's
potentially
gross.
started as an idea
Yeah.
from a girl.
Yes.
He wasn't even aware of what this shit was until he's like, and then I went and looked it up, and I didn't like what I was seeing.
Yeah.
And then you have a bunch of people identifying him with that, but then you have like slightly, and that's where it's like when you think of the word being like to be triggered, right? It's not saying like, oh my God, not. You have to just think about this in like the most, I'd say like in a more medical terminology, right? Like for trauma to be triggered, like he to have this reinforcement of this type of environment and relationship with the adults around him. And to be casted out when there's feelings of shame, to not have a space to deal with or to even address those feelings. It's not even dealing with them. It's like, even if he wanted to express them negatively, nobody's paying attention to him to do that. So it's like, he can't, right? But then it's like, now you have like another moment where it's like, okay, this is a negative feeling. I understand that incel's bad. Who the hell is he going to talk to about that?
Right.
Because it's like, because, oh shit, I'm bad at soccer. You don't pay attention to me. Oh shit, am I an incel? I can't even say that because you don't pay attention to me.
Yeah, and it's like there's never that opening is never happening for them to have that
there's
deeper
never an opening.
conversation.
Yes, there's never that space.
Yeah.
He does not have the space to be like, am I? He can't ramble about that. There's nowhere for him to ramble about. Like, I don't think I'm an incel. Am I an incel? Well,
So he's just doing it
yeah.
all internally, and then again being called ugly, or he and who also let's just talk about the fact where he didn't really know what an incel stuff was, but he knew that when she's being bullied and everyone's seeing her chest and everyone's mocking her, that's the time to go ask her for a
But that's where I'm
date.
saying. So it's like
So
some
it's
of these
like-
subliminal ideas.
No, exactly.
Who's not to say, like, it's hard to tell who at that school Because if she knew what an incel was, right, then did some of his friends know what incels were? And maybe they weren't talking about it in that way, but maybe they do have ideas that align with that. And so then he doesn't realize that in some ways, like his friends or other kids, like are sending they had the seed planted. So now they're perpetuating that information. They're not saying where it's coming from, because do they even know where it's coming from?
Exactly.
So now he's left with a set of ideas and in an environment where he's been conditioned to think a certain way. So he doesn't realize that by him doing that to her is actually correlated to that type of behavior. And so it's like,
and there's just also, I will say this though too, just so we don't stray too far from the beaten path. From that though, the reason why he's in a treatment facility is probably because, this is the second site, and this is for his legal team. And the reason why the male doctor probably just asked, do you understand this? Do you understand? It's because competency was probably raised. So meaning competent to,
like, how is he
competent to stand trial? Like, is he too mentally ill?
I'm sorry. I just need to push that back in.
No, like, is he too mentally ill, or like, does he have a cognitive delay that he doesn't understand what is happening, or is he too mentally ill? Is he too detached from reality to stand? So when someone is basically deemed to be incompetent, it means that they are not mentally fit to stand trial, because they literally don't understand how their actions affected reality. So because they're so separate from that, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, that's why they have doing it. He was like, I like the guys because they're easier to question. He just kept asking me if I understand. Now, because they're trying to paint a picture of all of Jamie, right? That's why they're bringing in this second psychologist. So they can basically, what the defense is always going to want to build is an incompetency. They want you to be deemed incompetent because you're always going to get a lower. That's why she says get any mental health things. You're always going to get like a lower sentence, because again, it's saying that you're not completely in touch with reality. Therefore, you cannot be in charge of your facilities, right?
Which sucks because.
But here is the thing. I have never seen a true blue better example of being literally not
indoctrinated.
No, that's not it. It's not just the indoctrination, because indoctrination alone isn't going to lead you to kill somebody, but he cannot regulate his emotions.
No.
He has no. And it's not that he just doesn't have any ability. It's his outbursts are so.
They're targeted.
It's targeted. It's not just that it's targeted. It's when he explodes, he has no control over that explosion. He has literally no, because you see him come back. And
it's like he's out of himself. Like he's gone.
He's gone.
He's out. He's gone.
It's a hairpin. Like it's gone. And he comes back and he feels remorse. And we literally watch him in real time throughout this interview.
I mean, he did it.
Have remorse, all these other things. But it's because he's so dysregulated. And at that age, at 13, that could be a myriad of things. It's so, and that's the craziest thing about mental health is like, it could literally be what you're saying. He's just never had any guidance on how to emote, or it could be an underlying severe mental health issue. But it's so crazy though, because I've never seen such a fantastic real time. Because all of my kids had emotional, like they all had mental health issues that impacted their ability to regulate their emotions.
When you also have to understand, he's been obviously kind of in an institution for 7 months. He's not in what he expected to be like a regular prison, like he's
or a detention center.
Yeah, not like a regular detention, or with a detention center he would expect to be in.
Yeah, and he's around like what he would consider super sick people because he's normal. He's just a 13-year-old. He's just hanging out. But then you see him blast off, and it's like, whoa, that's actually very not normal behavior. You know what I mean too. So that's probably what that is. So when she's saying, hey, if they offer you any mental health, take it, because there is an underlying issue. Because again, even if you're indoctrinated, you don't just go stab someone because they rejected you.
No, and that's why I think she's like, use all of the resources.
And I'm watching this interview, and from start to finish, I'm like, I've had that type of interaction with a teen. I've had that type of interaction with a teen. I've had that type of. It's so, especially when they first
like
start,
a perfect storm.
It was just, it's so beautifully done and so accurate. Because that really, I'm not kidding you. It was like, I felt like I was having an outer body experience when I used to sit with my kiddo, because it was always like, well, can you get at me out of here? No, I can't. Well, can we call my mom? No, I'm sorry. Like, I can't, like, we don't have her number right now. Her number, you know what I mean? Or it's like, or again, like, you take them to do something, or you do something nice for them and they like throw it away. Well, can I have another? Well, no, you had it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it sucks because it fluctuates between them wanting your validation so bad, but then them also wanting to intimidate you because that's all they've known. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, it's crazy, and it's just so well done. Like the show as a whole, it's just like it was crazy. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed by it. Like I felt like I was sitting there with my
well, and mental
examples
states
are crazy.
Like also like mental states for people. It's hard to like, you as an individual, majority of the time, like we cannot, for the most part, get people to think outside of who they are in their own context. You know, of like the context of who you think you are. Like if a person came in and tried to like pull you outside of that box.
And that's the craziest
it's
part.
difficult, you know, like
and
she can't, like she can only just observe him.
And that's why was so well done, because she's literally just asking very basic questions, but you watch his brain put all this weight onto these questions. You're trying to trick me. You're trying to trick me. That's always, they always think like, adolescents like, always think that you're trying to like
get one over on him.
Get one over on them.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, man, how do you feel about that? Like, it's not a trick question. You can say what you want to say.
Well, and that's why it's like, that's why it's like asking yourself like the question, like, who told you that?
Yeah.
Like things like that. It's like, no one, like you're not stopping to think
man,
that, you know, like outside of, that's why I'm like, it's like he obviously has a very defined context of the world and who he thinks he is in that world. And like the questions that she's asking him, like, it's bringing him to the edge of that. But then he's also trying to find a way to like answer them, you know, in a way that if he thinks he's being tricked or like, you know, like, and then he's trying to sometimes it seems like he's saying things that he thinks other people want to hear. Yeah.
And what's very interesting as well is when she asks him like, well, you do know she's dead. Like none of this matters. Like you do really, because he even says like, it's like she's saying these reaffirming things and he is like, well, dope. And then he goes, well, why'd you say she's dead like that? It's like, well, that's the truth. And then you watch it again. She's like, well, you see, she's a bullying bitch. Like she's like, yeah, but she's dead. Not anymore. Like she can't continue to bully. Like you have to see, because there's still that disconnect.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean? Like even if you're trying to hold on to your innocence or whatever, but she's still, it's like he's still hovering around this space. Well, it's not that big a deal. And like, oh my gosh, but the whole like I could have touched her thing, that was wild. It's like, he's like, it would have been so much worse. I could have touched her, but I didn't. I just stopped. Like I could have touched her.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, what? Like, babe, she's dead. You did the worst. I'm happy that you didn't also SA her in the process.
Yeah. Or like,
but
fucking, yeah.
But at the end of the day, babes, you still like that.
But again, it's like a dude sitting with this, like, why? Like, it's still, there's no like definitive answer as to why would you think about that? Because that's why I was saying, like, you straight up can't ask, like, who told you that?
Yeah.
Where are you getting that from? Like, she has to, like, it's basically like they're going to have to do these, like, gymnastics around, like, she literally just had to do gymnastics to figure out probably, like, just a sliver of, or like, an idea of what he's thinking.
Yeah, it's just and it's so good, and it's and we only have one more episode, so there's so many questions like that I would love to see, or like you know how that plays out, or what this last episode is going to be. I can't believe the last episode's only an hour.
Yeah,
I like it's just so, again, it is just so well done. It's such a conversation starter. It is just this is great art, and it doesn't
just
feel
sad, though.
disingenuine.
It's so sad though.
Oh, it's
like
super
to think
sad.
that like that. It's like just again like just some a set of ideas is just like fucking up these kids, dude. Like
On top of
that's-
whatever else is underlying.
on top of all
it, you know
of the
what I
things that
mean?
you have to experience, like we are all going to have trauma. So now on top of that, you're adding on this like free space of information with ideas
and negative connotation.
and negative
It's
connotations, like ideas
crazy.
that are meant to mostly make you feel fucking shitty about yourself. It's like, you don't need that. Like,
Yeah.
life is hard enough. You don't need that. Like, you don't need to be thinking about every interaction that you have with people and assuming that only 20% of people on the planet are going to be liked
Yeah.
in your gender. That's insane. Like, that is insane. Like, you need to like just fucking, I don't know, like there's so many other things going on. I couldn't imagine just feeling.
That's just also the worst part is like the time you think you're the ugliest is middle school. And then it's all like these competing things because it's like, and middle
because
school is
in middle
so
school, like,
hard
like
because
what you're saying, you're gaining the confidence to even be able to determine
to have a conversation.
Yeah, to even be able to determine whether or not you could be like beginning to develop relationships that are farther than just being friends with somebody. It's like you're not even like
and the worst
to the
part
first
is,
step of that.
and the
homie.
comparison of that all is because everyone hits puberty at different times. Like no one in middle school is at the same place of puberty.
Yeah.
You're, like there's always going to be a girl who was like way more developed in 7th grade.
Well, and it doesn't, and also
later on,
like,
and then with
social
male, same
status
thing.
too.
Yeah.
Like when I was going to school, like I couldn't, like we didn't have like the name brand clothes. Like I wasn't showing up to school in Hollister, you know. And if I got something like that, like most of our clothes for a long time until I got a job were just like hand me down stuff. And then when I started working, like I worked at a retail job, and I knew I wanted to buy clothes, and so like I knew I'd get a discount, you know. So it's like also some of that too like comes from just like what your parents are capable of providing for you as well, like can really dictate like your experience of, you know, especially being that like we kind of live in like a consumerism.
Yeah.
Like we consume, like we're consumers as people. And so it's like, there's so many extra layers. Like that's where it's like, it sucks that they don't even.
But that 80-20 part to me though, this is where it's like so hard because babe, your voice hasn't even dropped yet.
No, and he wouldn't even have been thinking about that had he not Googled it. Had he never seen that. Had she never said anything.
To compare the 80-20 to be that, it's like, babe, you haven't even slightly
He's getting, it's just like he's getting it, but that's what I'm saying. He's like getting it from both ends.
Yeah, it's terrible because, and that's why
because
it's like
the kids
it's
are already
too
talking
much.
about it.
You're
So
already talking about it. You're already comparing yourself to every other person. Like that guy's bigger, or that guy's taller. And it's like, man, you could like boys can have their last growth spurt at 23.
Jesus,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
that's wild.
like it's just their body just can keep growing. Like, and so at 13 to be like, I'm never gonna be part of the 20 when you haven't even slightly stepped into the body you're gonna probably have for the rest of your life.
You haven't
It's so
even met
slim
majority of the
to
people you're
none
going to meet in your life.
that these are how
You
your
haven't
looks
moved-
are gonna stay.
You haven't even gotten the opportunity to consider moving out of where you're from.
You think
like,
you'll never be attracted to anybody.
Yeah,
That is
to subscribe to the 80-20.
That is so
Which it's like, that's
sad.
sick because like, I didn't know that people were saying that has to be a real thing that people think is a real thing.
Yeah. Well, but again, that's the manosphere. So like, if you're like, you have to look like a hot. Well, it's not.
Well,
even
that's
the same
probably where
thing
is
for
that where
female
they like
versus-
then
yes.
they make you like, you know, oh, subscribe to my program, give me your money so I could teach you how to be in the top 20% of men.
I'm sure.
So
it
then you have a
is. It's
program
like-
that you have to buy, and then you become a business
Yeah.
person, and
But
then you're in the
also,
top 20%.
It's just so funny to me because this is going to take us down another rabbit hole. I'll say it later. But it's so funny because we're not, also the 20% of men is the men through a men's lens, not necessarily a female's lens.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's
So you're not even
like-
thinking of through, you're doing that. The number is coming through the male gaze.
Yeah. Which
So
is,
you're just creating
yeah.
an environment for men to compete against men, against statistics that like, I would say don't exist.
Because to be honest, like, yeah, if you're on a dating app and all you're looking at pictures, yeah, your first instinct is good. But I'll tell you right now, I have looked at a picture and be like, oh, he's really attractive, and gone to his profile and been like, absolutely not. Like,
Yeah.
An attraction for females is like, oh yeah, obviously it's just like any other thing, just like any other female. It's like a conventionally
Again, it
attractive
all comes
male
back to
is an
ideas.
eventually attractive male, whatever. But that doesn't
But
mean
it's not the same. It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
Like that could be so different and varying, like for so many people.
For so many people, it's so subjective.
Yeah.
It's so subjective.
Yeah.
Well, we could
I
talk
know.
about this for far too long, but
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for watching with us, and we will see you on the finale.
Bye.